Ciao everybody, welcome back to Tiny Tour Tuesday. My name is Becca, we are in Trastevere and James is going to tell you all about it.
Hi guys, how you doing? So I'm here now to tell you about Trastevere, one of the most beautiful neighbourhoods in the entire city. It's one of the most important neighbourhoods in the city though, so I should say that I'm just going to talk about half of it today, and we'll follow up with Mircha talking about the other half afterwards there. 2 weeks' time it is. Because Trastevere, it calls itself the most local part of town, really. In fact, the Italians call it il cuore battente di Roma, the beating heart of Rome. And it's an area that's very fond to my heart. I spent much of my formative years down here as well. But actually, it's not really as old as the rest of the city. In fact, at the start of ancient Rome, it wasn't considered part of the city at all. Trastevere literally means across the Tiber, across Trastevere. And originally when Rome was founded and it was a kingdom, it was actually Etruscan land. But it was in the time of the kings that it was actually fought over, and the Romans conquered it off the Etruscans themselves. And this happened between 509 BC, but even then the Romans just wanted it as a sort of buffer, so the Etruscans wouldn't be evading just across the river down there, and they didn't really populate it with many monuments or any big locations really. So it was mostly just small houses, collections of small local neighbourhoods out here, and it meant that a lot of foreigners came in, especially Christians and Jewish populations living out here in large amounts. But it did start thriving during the Republic here, and during the end of the Republic it started to be thought of as a fashionable neighbourhood to actually live in, nicely highlighted by the fact that Julius Caesar himself built a lovely villa out here. Unfortunately very little remains of it now, but already by the time of Augustus and the empire coming into power, it was a thriving part of the city itself, and would eventually be encompassed in the walls of Rome itself. Being thought of as being outside, though, played very well into Trastevere's general feel here. Everyone became very much a village into themselves, and this really sort of survives to this day. But also, because all the foreigners, so to speak, were here, when Christianity was still illegal during the actual Roman Republic, during the time of the Empire there, it was actually the home of many, many illegal churches here in Trastevere. And standing behind me, just over here, is actually one of the oldest churches. I say oldest with inverted commas down there. It is claimed to be one of the oldest churches in Rome. It is Santa Maria in Trastevere. And technically there's been a church here since, the 220s AD, with Christians illegally making a church here itself. It was formally recognised in the 340s rather AD. And in one way or another, the original church still stands with the original apse in its same place. It has wonderful columns taken from the baths of Caracalla, 13th century mosaics, and even a couple 12th, 13th century paintings in there as well. One of the most beautiful churches to see in the area. It's actually only one of 39 churches that we have in this area itself. It would soon change and grow and morph. And actually, after the fall of the Roman Empire, it's one of the only places in Rome that wasn't abandoned. While the Roman Forum, the Colosseum, Monte, were all given up to absolutely everything. This stayed an inhabited area, given the sense that they've been here longer. And in the 1500s, essentially we start to see the popes opening the area up a little bit. And Sixtus builds the Ponte Sisto, connecting it to the city there. We have Julius II building Via del Lungara, bringing lots of wonderful access to the area itself. And since then, it's grown and thrived, now becoming one of the most local hotspots there is. Famous for its narrow alleyways, looking over these beautiful side streets, enormous amounts of wonderful restaurants and gorgeous cocktail bars. It is without a doubt one of the unmissable spots of Rome itself. Unfortunately, one of the most traditional things you see of Trastevere, the hanging washing lines between the actual buildings, have been illegal for the last 2 years. But apart from that, it remains very much the same crowded neighbourhood, bustling and hustling, with beautiful fountains, gorgeous steps where people just love to hang out in the actual square itself. The fountain, I should mention, because we are standing in front of it, was actually originally done by Bonomini, but eventually completed by Bernini. I'm sorry, it's Bramante and Bonomini then. Bramante and Bernini, I apologise down there. That said though, guys, that's a lovely little introduction. Me and Ch will give you the rest of it next week. I've only got 5 minutes of history for you guys. For now though, all of us at Roman Vacations would like to wish you a wonderful spring and happy holidays. Hope to see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Take care. Bye.